The most underrated free agent in the NFL this offseason isn't a receiver, it isn't a pass rusher, it isn't a quarterback. It's actually a tight end that nobody's talking about. Isaiah Likely is a starting caliber tight end and has always been treated like a tight end too. And signing him is about to make some team look very, very smart. Since he's been drafted, Isaiah Likely has been stuck in the shadow of Mark Andrews. And whenever Andrews went down with injury, Likely stepped up to the plate and played like a tight end one. A legit tight end one. There's a report that came out recently saying that the Ravens were not going to bring Isaiah Likely back, which was no surprise as Mark Andrews just got a 3-year extension, which was a surprise, especially after all the stuff that he's put them through. Sorry, Ravens fans. Had to. I just don't understand the timing of the extension for Andrews. He's clearly been regressing for some time now. Ever since, well, I won't do it again, don't worry. But it's like lining up a 2017 Nissan Altima with 100,000 miles next to a Honda Civic Type R with 40,000 miles and telling me that the Altima costs more. And then you tell me that you would rather have the Altima. That's basically what the Ravens did. Isaiah Likely just yields so many traits that make him better than Mark Andrews, and especially in that Ravens offense. Because we all know Lamar loves finding his tight ends. That sounded weird. Likely is more explosive after the catch. When he gets the ball, he creates way more chunk plays. He always maximizes his limited opportunities. And the guy's an athletic freak. He's 6'4", 245. And sure, I know he runs a 4.8. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's a great route runner, which makes him a matchup nightmare for linebackers, and being 6'4", 245 makes him a matchup nightmare for corners and safeties. And listen, you could just say that I'm nitpicking Likely's good games here, but in games where Mark Andrews was out and Isaiah Likely was the tight end number 1 and actually getting used, he was averaging 4.1 receptions per game, 60.7 yards per game, and almost a touchdown per game. And it's clear that when he has a higher usage rate and a higher target rate, he makes plays. In his career, he has around a 70% catch percentage, which is up there with the likes of Kelsey, Kittle, and Colston Loveland last season. So my main point is, when he's the starter, he doesn't play like a backup. He produces like a top 10 tight end. And I mean, here, I'll just flash up some of his best game logs there, I don't know where. But in games where Likely is getting like 12 targets, and there's probably been like 3 or 4 of those throughout his career, dude's getting like 10 catches for like 100 yards and a touchdown. He just has wide receiver-like route running. He's fluid in space and seems to have great ball carrier vision for a tight end. And he creates mismatches all over the field, which I think is the most important thing here, considering the fact that he was part of an offense that clearly struggled to find mismatches last year. And you can line him up in so many different places. He's so versatile. You can line him up at the slot, the H-back, on the line, though he's not that good of a blocker, but, you know, get weird. And like in motion, you get that dude running full speed. Good luck, whatever linebacker is guarding him. He's not just productive, he's dynamic and versatile, and that's the difference. I think those words mean the same thing. And I think he'll just hold so much value to the right team. He always finds space in the zone. Young quarterbacks need safety blankets, so you know, if he goes to a team with a young quarterback, that'll benefit him so much. Not just him, but the young quarterback. And a tight end like Isaiah Likely is going to be cheaper than a wide receiver 2, or maybe a wide receiver 3 in some cases. Like, he's currently looking for a 2 to 3 year contract and making $9 to $10 million a season. And I don't know if you guys saw my Bills video, but Josh Palmer made $10 million last season. So I think I'd rather have Isaiah Likely than Josh Palmer. Call me crazy. There was some rumors that came out saying that Likely's top destination was the Patriots, which, like, wow, that would be really annoying. Everyone who's not a Patriots fan wants to see their demise. And one of my most underrated free agents going there and giving them another versatile offensive weapon would just kind of make me upset. But I'd love to see him go to a team like the Giants. 1, Daniel Bellinger's a free agent. 2, they have no true receiving tight end. 3, Jackson Dart would thrive. We saw Lamar roll out of the pocket so many times, and then Isaiah Likely finds space and Lamar hits him downfield for a big gain. I could see Jackson Dart doing the same exact thing. He also instantly becomes the tight end 1 in that offense. The next place that I think would be good for him is the Chargers. Though Oronde Gadsden had his moments, and you could kind of say he's a similar tight end in a sense, they haven't really had any consistent tight end production since like Antonio Gates. But either way, rotating those two would not be the worst thing. And with the constant injuries in that running back room, I could honestly see the Chargers moving more towards a high volume pass game next season, and having a big body in the middle of the field for Herbert to throw to will just benefit them. And the last excellent fit that I have for him is the Carolina Panthers. Like I said before about Jackson Dart, he can be a safety blanket for Bryce Young. It probably immediately makes him the number 2 target on the team behind Ted McMillan, and he's for sure the tight end 1. Shout out Jatavion Sanders. He also just fits the modern creative offenses that we see today. And I'm I'm not saying that he is them, but Dallas Goedert had a very similar path at the beginning of his career. David Njoku was sitting behind some guys, finally got his touches, broke out. Evan Ingram, sorry Giants fans, left the Giants, big usage jump, big stats jump. So it really seems here that the Ravens chose age and familiarity over explosiveness. And listen, in my eyes, I think Likely has enough potential to be a top 10 tight end in this league with enough snaps. Whatever team signs him is getting an absolute steal, especially on a $9 to $10 million salary. And in a free agency class full of overpriced names, Isaiah Likely may be the best value signing of the entire offseason. Let me know in the comments down below which team you guys think should sign Isaiah Likely. And also just do me a favor and drop your most underrated free agent down below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do to get us back on your feet again. Stay fuming, baby. Peace.